Order in the court. I'm Jeff Stein with today's Iowa Politics Report. Iowa Senator Charles Grassley is chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and yesterday he introduced the Judicial Relief Clarification Act of 2025 in response to some of the lower court actions across the country of late. And while the act may have been triggered by those federal district judges ruling against Trump administration executive orders, there are concepts within the law that should be agreed to on a bipartisan basis. For example, the bill forbids federal courts from issuing sweeping orders against the federal government that apply nationwide, even though the court's jurisdiction may only be a small geographic area. In other words, many have asked me how a single federal judge in a district can issue an order that applies to 320 million people. And under this law, typically that judge could not. We learned all about forum shopping when I was in law school, the idea that you file your action in the jurisdiction most favorable to your case. With these Trump orders, you pick the most liberal or most anti-Trump judge you could find, file your action, and then wait for the outcome you want to be ordered. This provision of the bill would limit that forum shopping. It would also require anyone seeking a national order to certify the case using a class action process. Now, that simply means if you're claiming there is a broad group of people being harmed, you actually have to sign them up for the lawsuit, no different than in a products liability case. It also makes any temporary restraining orders immediately appealable. That strengthens the appellate review process and eliminates weeks and months-long delays. There's more to it, but you get the idea. And what business does Congress have regulating the courts like that, you might ask? Well, it comes directly from the Constitution, which established a Supreme Court, but left it up to Congress to establish whatever inferior courts, inferior in standing to the Supreme Court, that might be needed. So if Congress sets up the lower court structure and approves the judges, it certainly can set rules of procedure. And remember, this would not have been necessary had our courts operated under the blind justice concept we all thought they were using. Some folks always just go too far. And that's the Iowa Politics Report for Tuesday, April 1 on Twitter, Instagram, Getter, Threads, and Truth Social at Iowa Politics. I'm Jeff Stein on News Talk 1540 KXEL.